And Eugene is going to bring us 3 reasons about why investors choose real estate. Bob is going to bring us through the new iconic landmark of Tanjong Katong, which of course is the Continuum. So stay with us till the end because Bob is going to share with us the first dips onto the show flat, as well as what you can see down at the Tanjong Katong, changing the whole landscape. All right, so let's move on. Okay, sharing a little bit onto the history of Thiam Siew Avenue to begin with. So maybe a lot of us are not old enough to know about the Thiam Siew Avenue. So let's have a look. And this is actually the street along Thiam Siew Avenue, which is sitting between Hague Road and Tanjong Katong, a very quiet street. Thiam Siew Avenue was just 25 houses across 22 plots of land, and many of them are pre-war single-story semi-detached houses and bungalows. These are in actual fact the legacy of hotelier Wee Thiam Siew, who actually passed away in 1972. This is an old photo of the houses that was lying across the road, and this is going to change in a while. All right, a little bit more. So we also built the Lion City Hotel and Hollywood Theatre for those who are old enough to know about these 2 places. Both are already acquired and rebuilt into Kinex Mall as well as Katong Regency at this present moment. You will see them at the new landmarks already along the street. After close to 80 years, the Wee family decided to sell both plot of land, and they were in actual fact a single seller of the 25 houses. This is extremely rare to have such a sizable plot of freehold land that's available for en bloc and redevelopment in District 15. You will often hear a lot of people talk about, it's hard to en bloc houses. So how often can we actually en bloc 25 houses altogether? So it had happened, and maybe do we need to wait another 80 years for this to happen? Okay, a bit more. So this is plot 1 and plot 2, as we can see over here, demarcated in the red marks. The total land size we have for both plot of land is about close to 270,000 square feet of space, and 816 units will be built along this 2 plot of land. And I will let Bob bring you through later a bit more onto the iconic bridge and all that, okay, which you might have already heard before you come for this seminar. All right, so freehold, a home and legacy for generations. Freehold land in District 15. How much do we know about the freehold land in District 15? So District 15, loosely put, is all the way from Tanjong Katong area all the way to Amber, cutting across the entire Tanjong Katong Siglap area. Those are all District 15. So let's wake ourselves a little bit after a heavy dinner. How many freehold developments are there in District 15? So a little quiz here. So if you can help me, everyone who is here, 207 of you, is it A, under 300 developments, B, 300 to 400, C, 400 to 500, and D, over 500? If you can type into the group chat to everyone, what is the answer, that you could guess? There is a right answer, but you can just guess whatever you think is correct. In District 15, how many freehold do we have in District 15 itself? Most are going for A, I can see. For those who are typing to hosts and panelists, please change it to everyone so that everyone can see your answer. Most are giving me A, more A, B, some B. Okay, A, still more A's. Okay, very good, very good. All A's. A, D, I saw 1 D. Okay, this actually had been a question that was covered during our our mega showcase just a month ago. So there was an answer that was already reviewed. So thank you so much for those who have already answered. The answer is D. Okay, over 519 freehold developments, they are located in District 15. A lot of people might not guess this answer, as I would initially not do so as well, because of the fact that there are many little plot of freehold developments, primarily along the East Coast as well as the Teluk Kurau area. So they're all made up of very small developments. In actual fact, only 10 developments have more than 300 units. So that's why a lot of people guess A, because they think that it's probably just about 300. In actual fact, there are a lot of freeholds in District 15. So if you're not buying a freehold land in District 15, we have to think about that, okay? So only approximately 10 developments in District 15 have more than 300 units. In other words, large freehold sites with more than 300 units are very rare in District 15. That's something to remember and something to think about as we go along. Okay, so free to hold forever. What about freehold land? We know a lot about freehold property. It has a never-ending lease that can pass on from generation to generation. This is what many people buy it for. But then we also have to remember why we think that way. In theory, this actually means that there's an unlimited upside as compared to leasehold property. Because there's no tenure pressure, we always benefit as the time increase over time. And another thing to know is that freehold titles are extremely rare because the government no longer sell them. It's all 99-year lease if the land is actually from the government. This also means that there will never be any freehold land again, and the percentage of freehold land will only decrease over time. Okay, freehold is finite. Why do we say that? Just now, didn't we say it's infinite? Okay, finite. Why? Because new freehold land cannot be created, as we already mentioned earlier. The only way to create new freehold land is through collective sales. To create more freehold supply, the owners of existing freehold land and homes have to be persuaded to sell, and developers generally have to pay a premium. So as the prices continue to increase, so will the asking prices of the freehold owners, because their lease do not decay, it preserves, you see. So therefore, with every en bloc cycle that move on, the freehold development will only cost more and more. And so, reiterating the fact that freehold is actually a very rare, freehold land is a very rare commodity. And I wanted to say it's probably as rare as the solar eclipse that's going to happen tomorrow. Okay, so let's take a look at the upcoming new projects and supply to reinforce what we have said earlier. We have new projects coming out, a lot of them, okay, for this year and next year. So from this list itself, there's about 19 here, and out of which you can see those which are sizable, above 300 units. One observation you can see clearly here, only the Continuum is a freehold that is out of the list of the 19 here that are above 300 units. So we are rare once again. Okay, now let's examine a little bit more about the existing supply and the prices of new projects in District 15 and 16. Why so? It's because they are projects that has already been launched. And in order to price it correctly, we also take a look and to examine why we buy what we buy, we need to know what is the supply in the market. Okay, so existing supply of new projects in District 15. Have a look over here. I have a chart. So we have Leaf at NB. For those who do not know, it's a 99-year leasehold located at Arthur Road area, total of 298 units. And this has really been launched last year. So highest PSF achieved for 2-bedroom is 2,909. 3 bedrooms, highest PSF is achieved at 2,693, and 4-bedroom, the highest launch was achieved is 2,626. And then go on to Amber Park, which was launched about 2-3 years ago. It's a freehold, and they're going to TOP soon in 2023. The highest PSF achieved is 2,800. And Mayor mentioned, which is also a freehold, and the highest PSF achieved is 3,170. Remember all these figures because we are going to share with you what is the price for Continuum later. And the circle ones over here show you the supply. As you can see, it's either single digit, double digit, less than 40 units. Okay, moving on a little bit. So a comparison that we'd like to bring out is this newly launched Tembusu Grand, which is 99 years leasehold property, located very near to the Continuum. So this is a chart that we have. I took this out very recently, and there is a total of, we have a very good sale at the Tembusu Grand. And right now we have 34 units of 1+ study left, and they are all approaching around 2,600 PSF and above. 2-bedroom, we only left with 1 unit, and that is the penthouse unit at 1.89 million. As for the 2+ study, we have 30 units left, and most of them are from 1.9 to 2.15 million. All right, moving on a little bit. Observation from the Tembusu Grand launch. What can we see? And this actually will give us a benchmark as we go on to launch the Continuum. Of course, to remember that it's 2 different tenure. Tembusu Grand sold out close to 54% of the total units on launch day. This, I must say, is a resounding success. It demonstrated strong demand and a confidence level in District 15 properties. One observation we have noticed as well is that smaller units, which is the 1, 2, and 2+ study, are very popular among the buyers, and now in limited supply as well, as displayed on the earlier chart. This is also likely to translate to a continued healthy demand of the small unit types in the Continuum as well. So for those who are looking out, if you miss a chance into Tembusu Grand, we have the continuum for you, all right? So what will be the continuum selling price? Okay, I think most of us have already received this from our ERA trusted advisor. These are the attractive prices that has been reviewed by the developer. As we take a moment to look through this chart here, shows us that from 2,585 per square foot basis. And even the highest one that is starting here is 2,613 per square foot basis. Remember earlier we mentioned that Leaf at MB is about 2008, 2009, and then all the way to Maya, which is about 3,000 odd per square foot. So if this is not attractive prices, what else is? And furthermore, this is a freehold. All right. Moving on. So let's talk a bit about the price gap and the premium freehold versus leasehold, because this is a topic that many people ask. A lot of our clients always ask us this, what is a fair price to pay for freehold? And now I think this is a very good opportunity that we have in District 15, where the leasehold and the freeholds are launched very close to each other in terms of proximity and in terms of timeline. So what is the premium you would pay for a freehold versus leasehold? So another quiz, okay? A, 5 to 7%, B, 8 to 14, C, 15 to 20, and D, 21 to 25. Help me out. What is it to you that you will want to pay in terms of a premium, a freehold versus a leasehold? We all know that there will be a premium, all right? There will not be a situation where there's no premium in that sense, especially when we give a like for like, the age for the age. So what is it that you would pay? If you could help me type into the screen, what is the premium that you will pay? Let me take a look. Majority of us are saying C, D, Elvin say D, good, A, all right. For those who are typing to hosts and panelists, please type it to everyone so that we can all see and participate in your answers. So a lot of us are giving me C. Okay, that is the premium that you would pay. There is once again no right and wrong answer, because it's also seasonal. It's also depending on the timeline where we cut the graph of when the premium will be. But right now we are talking about today. As of today, what would you pay? What is the premium that you will pay? If you are telling me negative, Evelyn, you never give me a negative, we need to meet separately on that, okay? So C, most of us are giving me C or B. Let's take a look at what is the average over the years. This is not, by me who said this. Thank you so much, everyone, for your participation. Let's take a look. Freehold premium, okay, freehold premium. So what is it? This is actually done by NUS. The article in 2021, they have taken over a period of time in terms of what buyers are willing to pay. The premium is actually 15 to 20%. So buyers are willing to pay a premium of 15 to 20% for a freehold tenure. All right, this is the difference. Though this is not given by me, this is given by the NUS. Okay, so 15 to 20%, remember that figure first, all right? So let's examine what is the existing supply for new projects in District 15 that we have. I've broken them down into various bedroom types so that we can have a closer look. Which one would you buy regardless of the tenure? Okay, I will not talk about any more quiz here, okay? Because it's quite obvious. So Tembusu Grand, last unit, 2-bedroom, 1.89. While I was doing this slide, right? In actual fact, the last bedroom, there was 2, all right? And 2 penthouse, and then one got sold, the more expensive one. Okay, this is the last one that I have, which is 1.89. Leave at MB, the last unit of 2-bedroom, 2.041 million. That is the price. Mayor mentioned freehold, last unit, 2-bedroom, 2.144 million. I've written over there, 3,113 per square foot. Or the continuum, which is a freehold 2-bedroom from 1.7 million. Okay, I do not even need to ask a question here. Just looking at the statistics, it's very, very obvious. All of us will choose the continuum because the price is from 1.7 million. One thing that we want to ask is that which one can exit with a higher profit in the future, given that you go in and buy any of this unit at this present moment, assuming an exit point of between 2.2 to 2.3 million in the future, or else being equal, Continue will be sitting on a profit of 200,000 or more. You will actually be using less down payment of funds to make a bigger, higher amount of profits. Okay, once again, I'm not saying that we cannot buy 99 year property. It's just that we have to examine why freehold can be a very good opportunity to buy right now. All right, so a little bit more 2+ study. Let's take a look. Which one would you buy regardless of the tenure? Once again, Tembusu Grand 2+ study, I have limited units over there at 1.9 million. Continuum 2+ study, our starting price is from 1.8 million, okay, 1.8 million. So the lowest price Tembusu Grand right now is at 1.9 million versus the Continuum, which is starting at 1.8 million X. Freehold now is priced lower than the leasehold. All right, it's priced lower than the leasehold. So I think we don't need to think too hard. The choice is very obvious. I'm not saying the Tembusu Grand for all the buyers who have bought, all right? I was there as well. So the Tembusu Grand is not, we're not saying it's not good. It's more of the time has passed. Okay, so assuming existing at the same time, which project will be able to earn more profit? The answer is very obvious. The Continuum will earn more using a similar amount of down payment. Of course, all else being equal, but then again, it's not all equal. The product is different. So for those who like, something that is nearer to let's say, the MRT that is nearer to that side, Amber side, of course, they might choose Tembusu Grand. But if you're looking at acquiring a freehold project, attractive price starting from 1.8 million, you know where to look for. Okay, moving on a little bit more. 3 and 4 beta. What about the 3 and 4 beta? Somebody asked me this question. So I went on and looked a bit further. We dig a little bit further, okay? Tembusu Grand 3-bedroom right now start from 2.29. Okay, once again, I want to say I have nothing against Tembusu Grand. It's just that because Tembusu Grand is the project that has been launched recently in District 15, so it makes a very good comparable. Okay, so 3-bedroom for Continuum is going to start from 2.3 million. Very close, 1 digit apart. Tembusu Grand 3+ study starts from 2.7 million, the cheapest unit right now. I took all this figure from today. Continuum 3-bedroom Premier is actually starting from 2.76 million. Okay, Tembusu Grand 4-bedroom is starting from 3.28 million. And Continuum 4-bedroom is starting from 3.21 million. Okay, so what is so obvious about all this? The Continuum Signature Collection unit types all have lower starting price or almost on par. So think carefully, okay? Prices of existing new project, what about in District 16? Why do we look into District 16? Because it's a very close neighbor from 15 to 16, but most people who buy 15 will tell me that 16 is different from 15. Let's take a look and we can examine this a bit further. Seneca is a 99 years leasehold located in Tanah Merah. It has achieved a high of 2,374 per square foot basis and is located in District 16. What about Sky Eden? That's the other project we launched last year. That is also a 99-year leasehold located in Bedok, and we have achieved a 2,286 per square foot basis. This is also a high. Okay, so with just District 16 prices, just about 8 to 13% lower than a freehold in District 15. Wouldn't that make Continuum a more attractive and value buy? Earlier, we already established, most of us here say that between 15 to 20% premium from freehold and leasehold, you're willing to pay for it. So this is a different district. So wouldn't that once again reinforce that the Continuum is going to be a very attractive and value buy? So what do we learn? Fact 1, the price gap in the existing project in District 15 and 16 versus the Continuum is very narrow now. They are very, very narrow. This provides us with a safety margin as well as price support. And fact 2, the supply is low and limited. Of course, if there's a 99-year leasehold that is maybe starting at 1.4 million, most of us might, jump for that, but that do not exist anymore. So right now, the Continuum is a limited edition. And fact 3, it is also a first mover advantage to buy a freehold, brand new, sizable property in District 15. Okay, why being first mover advantage? Because it's actually the first freehold that is going to be launched for probably the last 3 to 4 years. The last, I think, being Amber. Okay, so limited edition, remember that. Okay, so a little bit on the myth of true, all right? So some people ask me this, leasehold can earn profits faster than freehold. So why must I buy freehold? Freehold is going to take a long time to earn some profit. Is that true? Let's take a look. Okay, so this is a graph that we took out, the source is from HProp. This is a chart that DP, the orange one is the freehold in District 15. And I'm talking about the whole basket of good that we talked about earlier that, total all the unit type, okay? Or whether it's a 50 unit freehold all the way to 300 unit kind of freehold, and the leasehold are the whole basket of leasehold as well. So it shows that in District 15 from 2010 to 2023, the average growth rate over 13 years, freehold is 64% and leasehold is 45%. So freehold properties in District 15 actually enjoy a higher growth over time. What about for short term? We are looking about short term. Evelyn, you tell me if short term can make money or not. Okay, so from 2018 to 2023, why did I take this? This is really a very loose way of doing it, but it's a typical timeline, which is about 3 to 4 year timeline for construction to TOP. So we observe over here, which is freehold growth is about 29% and leasehold growth is about 18%. So this proved to us as well that the freehold condos in District 15 can also have a higher growth rate in the short term. We just have to pick the right project, okay? Leasehold can make money, freehold can also make money. Myth busted. Okay, so now let's take a look about nearby condos comparable. We have already compared to the existing supply of new projects. What about nearby comparables? Because going into the history, right, will tell us a little bit about what is going to happen for the future. I always tell my clients, I don't have a crystal ball for you. I can't guarantee everything, but what we can do is to look back into the history, because the history gave us lessons and also maybe a little bit of mirror of what's going to happen in the future. Okay, so here we have Tham Siu Avenue, which is where the Continuum is based, and we have taken this area here, which is comparable to freehold sizable units, okay, because they need to be sizable. We can't take like those which are 100 over units or 200 over units. We need to take those which are sizable. So we've taken one Amber, the Esther, the Seaview versus sizable leasehold, which is also nearby in the same area, which is the Shaw Residences as well as Silver Sea. All these are pretty much within similar time frame, I would say. Let's take a look at what happened to all this condo, freehold versus leasehold. As we can notice from this chart over here, the Esther, One Amber, and the Seaview have actually come in with very, very generous annualized capital gains between 5.5 to 6.6%. And even the rental yield is looking very, very healthy versus the 99-year leasehold. I'm not saying that they don't make money. Silver Sea is a bit of a exceptional here because it really depends on which phasing we are looking at. But if you're interested to know more, speak to the advisor who have invited you today, and they'll be happy to share with you the reasons behind that. So a fact over here, both leasehold and freehold can make money over time, with the freehold coming in higher annualized capital gains, and in actual fact, I was pleasantly surprised that it's also higher rental yield over a period of time. Okay, this is all time, by the way. So comparable in District 15, which we have taken a basket of goods that is more than 300 units, as mentioned, 3 to 4 bedroom type. Okay, so the Seaview over here, we can see that the annualized returns is between 6.5 to 7.8% for those who are coming on this kind of profits. And in particular, we can see over here, 0302, a low floor unit bought at launch in 2006, sold in 2022, and 4-bedroom profit close to 2.2 million. Would you like to have that? I think I would like to have that. If I have the funds, I would do that. Okay, what about One Amber? Okay, One Amber annualized returns is also looking very healthy in terms of the 3 and 4 betas, in particular 0706, once again, not a very high floor unit, bought at launch in 2006, so in 2019, 3-bedroom profit close to 1.5 million, all right? And what about over here, the Esther? Okay, the Esther has very good, healthy returns, 7.1 to 8.4 on the high side there. And one of the unit here, 0701, once again, low floor unit, bought at launch 2006, sold in 2022, 3-bedroom profit close to 1.92 million. Okay, moving on, what about 1 to 2 bedrooms? Do they make money as well? Some people ask me, can 1 to 2 bedroom types make money? Really depends on where you buy it, I must say. Okay, so the Seaview, let's have a look. The Seaview nicely have done not too bad for itself, from a low of 3.7 to 5.0, 22-07 bought in 2009, sold in 2018, 1-bedroom profit 415. I think that's not too bad a result. I would be very happy if my 1-bedroom comes in at that pricing. And then the Esther, averaging, we have a low of 2.3 all the way to 7.1. This one is a 7.1. 2005 bought in 2006, so in 2019, a 2-bedroom profit more than 1.2 million. I think this is quite exceptional. So maybe if we hold it for the duration, we can make 1.2 million as well in the Continuum. Okay, what about comparison in District 15 building under construction? Okay, we have a lot of projects that is under construction right now in District 15, and one of the more comparable one is Amber Park, which is 592 units that's building under construction. Let's take a look at what is happening right now. Have a look over here. We have a profitable sales of 3. So Amber Park is coming to the stage whereby the SSD is over, the seller stamp duty is over, and we are already looking at annualized return pretty healthy for a project which had not even TOP, 2.2 to 3.2 annualized, and a profit 100 over 1,000 to 200 over for a 2-beta. And importantly, the per square foot basis have already gone up to 2,800 on the sub sale. Okay. So what about, the future? This is the future. Mayor Park, for those who have read the papers in 2003, February 11, have already been successful for their en bloc. And this is going at a land price of 1,668. For the Continuum, it's about 1,400 odd per square foot basis. So what would this equate to? This simply equate to a higher selling price in the future, given higher construction costs, higher financing costs, and manpower, material costs, etc. Possibly 3,000 per square foot, which has already happened in Mayor Mansion as well. So what are you waiting for? All right, summing up a little bit, the current supply of new sizable freehold is limited. Once again, we emphasize on sizable freehold because there's so many freehold in District 15, but they are not all equal, all right? It's limited. The Continuum is a rare freehold opportunity to add to your portfolio right now, especially if you're looking for freehold. This is likely the right one to add to your portfolio because it will only get more expensive later. It is safe to invest in the Continuum now. The price support and the safety margin is very clear. As you have seen earlier from all the figures that we have shown to you, the safety margin is there. Freehold can make profit both in the short and long term. So freehold sizable condo in District 15 have actually raked in very healthy profits. So even if you're looking at 1 to 2, 3 to 4, they all come in with very, very good profits as well. So summing up, the end of this, the window of opportunity is now. Okay, so that's my part over here. I'm going to bring this over to Eugene, who's going to share with us why investors are looking at real estate. Thank you very much. Eugene, over to you.
Yes, thanks a lot, Evelyn. Thank you for the very insightful sharing. Okay, so now I'm Eugene Koh here. So basically what I'll be doing now is to share the 3 reasons why investors choose real estate. And of course, as we all know, just 2 weeks ago, Tembusu Grand, just very near us, is launched. 53% sold, over 340 units sold at an average price of 2,465 per square foot. And these are probably some of the reasons and the more prominent ones why we feel that investors are investing into real estate now. So firstly is that we are looking at a very safe, sustainable and stable real estate market. And why? Okay, so just sharing this chart. This is basically the chart of the many rounds of cooling measures that have happened since 2009. So what are cooling measures? Of course, cooling measures are implemented by the government to moderate the increase of housing prices. So as you can see, when Singapore real estate market came out of the Lehman Brothers crisis, in 2009, the prices have been moving sharply upwards. And the government have implemented many rounds of cooling measures, like this September 2009 removal of interest absorption scheme. Okay, up to 2010, we have seller stamp duty, and then ABSD coming out in December 2011. So all these are cooling measures to moderate the increase of housing price by curbing demand. Okay, but of course, among these lists, we have one measure, which is an adjustment of cooling measure. So the government's intention is not to have a very steep increase in real estate price over a short period of time. Neither is it that they want real estate price to drop drastically over a short period of time. So sometimes, like what we see here, they can adjust their cooling measure. So that is their ability to increase housing demand. So when demand increase due to some adjustment of measure, the prices will be supported and in some way it will go up. Okay, and you can see that we have more than 10 rounds of cooling measures since 2009. And of course, just a month or two ago, we have another round of measures which includes increasing stamp duty to a certain extent. Okay, but most notably, out of all these cooling measures, right, June 2013, we can see here, June 2013, okay, is the implementation of total debt servicing ratio, which from then on, you really need income. You need good income, then you can take loan. At that point of time is you can use 60% of your income to service all your obligation. So June 2013, after this TDSR measure and a sharp increase in additional buyer stamp duty for second and third property owners, right, we see actually real estate prices start to slow down for a period of 4 years. But what happened next was in March 2017, to support prices, you can see that the government have adjusted the cooling measure. How they adjust? In March 2017, they shortened the seller stamp duty time frame from 4 years to 3 years. Okay, so they adjust the measure. If I remember correctly, during the Park Place Residences launch, and after that, the prices do see an increase. Okay, then after that, we have cooling measures again. So cooling measures and adjustment of cooling measure is actually the government way to increase or reduce real estate demand. So why is it that with all these cooling measure, we actually have a more safe, sustainable, and stable real estate market now? Okay, it's because all these measures that are curbing demand is like another layer of cushion, in a way whereby if there's any risk to the Singapore real estate market, all these measures are in place to make sure that the Singapore real estate market go for a soft landing. Without all these measures, if we are still at the 90% loan, no TDSR, no ABSD days, this cushion will not be around. So this is the photo of the cushion. So the many cushions. So cushion meaning, if let's say you fall down on a cushion, your fall will be not so painful. Okay, so these cooling measures, we can actually, the government has the right to adjust it if they want to support the real estate market. So what are some of the measures that are in place already? Additional buyer stamp duty. Singaporean second property now is 17%. Third property and beyond is 25%. PR first property is 5%. Second property and beyond is 25%. So if there's any adjustment to this measure, it can actually increase demand in a way whereby if, let's say, for example, just for example, quote for illustration, if Singaporean second property, there is no more need to pay ABSD, okay? If that is the case, maybe demand will increase. This is what I'm trying to say, okay? So loan to value, before 2009, we are at 90% loan to value. If some of you still remember, prior to 2009, we are doing 90% loan. But what happened now? We are at 75% loan for first property, first housing loan, 45 for second housing loan, and 35 for third housing loan. And the loan tenure is capped at 65 minus age if you want to take a 75% loan. Okay, and there are also other measures that are in place to cool the market, which in turn in the future, when the time comes, if needed, they are around to support the real estate market. Other measures like the total debt servicing ratio from 60% of income to service all obligation, we drop to 55%. And we also have seller stamp duty. Seller stamp duty, now it's 3 years. So basically you sell after 3 years, starting from date of exercise. So basically, if you invest in a new launch development like Tembusu Grand or even Continuum, right from the day you buy, in 2, 3, or 4 weeks, you will exercise the purchase, and the time starts from the date you exercise. So effectively, when the development goes TOP, you can actually sell off without paying without paying seller stamp duty. And also, we actually have very prudent purchase from 2013 onwards. Why? Because of total debt servicing ratio, whereby borrowing is backed by income, and we need a high cash outlay to invest in real estate. Why high cash outlay? The government have lowered the loan to value, firstly, and also we have many purchasers investing with additional buyer's stamp duty. Sometimes they pay 15, 20, or even more to invest in real estate in Singapore. So very high cash outlay is not speculative, it's genuine demand. Okay, and the next point, why is it that generally investors love to invest in real estate is also because of inflation. Inflation meaning is like, for example, 20 years ago, the $1 can do more than the $1 now. Okay, it means that the money actually becomes smaller. So sometimes we will always think that, hey, how come, you know, the prices of things keep going up? How come is it that real estate price keep going up? It is also because to a large extent, the value of money dropped. The value of money dropped, so the absolute price of almost everything goes up. And you can see here that real estate price actually move in line with inflation. We move in line with inflation. The general trend is that as money becomes smaller, okay, everything else, the material cost to build the property goes up. The salary of the workers go up. The salary of the project manager, everything goes up, which is why generally real estate, like any other product in the market, the price will go up. Okay, the best illustration, when I'm in primary school many years ago, my soya bean drink is 10 cents. But today, if I have any parents here, there's no way that your children can go to primary school and buy a soya bean drink for 10 cents. Because my son is doing 70 cents now. Okay, so when I'm in primary school, my char kway teow is 50 cents. Now don't have char kway teow already, but also don't have 50 cents. Okay, it's $1 plus at least. Okay, so the inflation have caused our money to become smaller. Okay, and real estate, like all other assets, the price will generally go up over the long term because also money becomes smaller. Okay, and these are some articles I think we know that generally, more likely than not, inflation is here to stay. This is how the global financial system is built based on. So over a long term, real estate, like everything else, the price will go up. And with all the cooling measures that are already in place in the Singapore real estate market, investors are feeling that it's now very safe. The real estate market is very safe, very sustainable, and very stable. Okay, point 2. The question is, why invest in new homes when you cannot collect immediate rental? So think about this, okay? So if let's say you invest in a resale property instead, you can probably, you know, collect 5,000 rental a month. Over 12 months, you collect 60,000. And 60,000 a year, over 4 years, you will collect 240,000 rental. But if instead you invest in a new launch property, but you do not collect any rental over the next 4 years, so the difference is like 240,000. So why are investors still putting their money into new homes? Okay, so firstly, let's hypothetically a $1.8 million resale property, you can collect 5,000 rental per month. Hypothetical example. And 5,000 rental per month over 12 months, you actually collect 60,000. Okay, but when you invest in a property, you also need to pay your expenses, your bank loan interest, your maintenance fees, and your property tax. So what will the numbers look like as an illustration? So if you take a 75% loan over 1.8 million at 4% interest rate, your bank interest expense is actually 54,000 every year. And your maintenance fees at $500 per month, over 12 months, we are doing 6,000 expenses, $6,000 of maintenance fee per year. So property tax, I use a 2024 rate is, for rental, for investment, the property tax is higher. for homestay is lower. So for rental investment is around 6,000 per year based on 42,000 annual value, based on this rental, expected rental of 60,000. Okay, so adding all these expenses up, what do we actually see? Interest 54,000, maintenance fee 6,000, property tax 6,000. Your total cost sums out to be 66,000. While it is true that, you know, on a resale property, you can collect 60,000 annual rental, but you also have to pay your expense, which effectively net off. So you actually do not actually gain anything because you are paying your expenses. Okay, so it will be like negative 6,000. Of course, the parameters can change depending on what type of properties you buy, but generally it's almost net off, almost. Okay, but if you invest in Continuum instead, yes, it takes 4 years to build. Yes, you collect no rental over 4 years, but at the same time, you do not pay your property tax, you do not pay your maintenance fees. And because of progressive payment, okay, you pay only 36,000 interest expense over 4 years, which means an average of 9,000 per year. So what we actually see here is that, right, the smart investors do look past this rental, look past this net rental income. But what is more important for real estate investment is which property can actually appreciate more over the next 3, 4 to 5 years. So that will be the more important factor rather than the few $1,000s per year of net interest, net rental income that you earn. Okay, so let's take a look at one of the example. So we look at Sterling Residences, just TOP in year 2022. It's located 5 minutes walk from Queenstown MRT, a very beautiful development. TOP probably half a year to 9-10 months ago lah. Okay, so you can look at all these are the profits that investors have earned if they invested in Sterling Residences sometime in 2018 when it's launched, or 2019. So 3 years is up. They sold their property primarily in last year, 2022. Okay, and they have made profits up to 700,000. For the 8 to 900 square feet, we see 400,000 profit, and for the 2+ study, we see 350,000 profit over this time period of 3 to 4 years. Okay, but then we look at this. Okay, so basically Queenstown MRT is here, Sterling Residences is here, and besides Sterling Residences, we have another 2 sizable development. Why? Because it's fairer to compare sizable development to sizable development, because generally bigger size development with more number of units generally perform better due to valuation increase from more transactions in a month or in a year, rather than a boutique development with probably 1 transaction over 2 years. So the valuation hardly move up. Okay, so but we'll leave that to another day, but it's fairer to compare development of similar size. So that is a more accurate picture. Same location, almost the same number of units. Okay, but the difference is one is older, one is newer. So we will compare with Queen's Condo here as well as Anchorage. Okay, so you can see that in July 2018, if you remember, Sterling Residence is launched 1 day before the implementation of another round of cooling measure, which is making the market safer now. Okay, so at that point of time, when Sterling Residences is launched, it averaged actually 1,750 per square foot. And at that point of time, you look at the blue line. The blue line here is the price for Queen's Condo. So Queen's Condo is doing 1,250 per square foot at that point of time, and we are doing 1,750. Fast forward 5 years, and you can see that the red line, which is Sterling Residences, we are doing 2,250 per square foot. It means that the buyers in the market are willing to pay 2,250 on average for Sterling Residences, but they are only willing to do around 1,500 for Queen's Condo at this current moment. Why is that so? It shows a consumer preference of newer developments, newer design, newer pool, newer gym. Okay, and the location is the same. And Queen's Condo is beautiful also. Okay, and you can see from this data, Sterling appreciated close to 30%, while Queens and Anchorage did almost 18% in the same time period. Okay, so again, to emphasize the point, we smart investors look past the net rental income, which is almost negligible on the expenses, but more importantly is generally which development you feel can appreciate more. Okay, and there are many factors, and I think Evelyn have done a very good job to illustrate some of the factors for Continuum, and I'll go on. Okay, reason three. Reason three is that new homes, because new homes we follow progressive payment, they can actually cushion off the current interest rate fluctuation that we are seeing now. So currently, we all know interest is slightly on the higher side and is fluctuating, you know. We don't know whether you'll go up or down, but for new home investment, it actually cushions this interest rate fluctuation over the short to mid-term and is lower risk. And what do I mean? And by lower risk, okay, and this is the concept of having a safety net. So in ERA, our trusted advisors always emphasize that we need to have this safety net when you invest in real estate, which means having the buffer sufficient cash flow for your mortgage payment in the short to mid-term. Typically 3 to 4 years, it will be good. Okay, and it is something like this safety net lah. It's a safety net. Okay. Okay, so an illustration, if you invest in a new development like Continuum at 1.8 million, taking a 75% loan, over 25 years loan tenure, and at 4% interest rate. So what we actually see here is that from launch to foundation, you don't need to pay anything yet because no loan have been dispersed yet. And it's roughly for a period of 12 months. And of course, Bob will share with you the expected foundation date for Continuum very, very shortly after my part. Okay, so next 12 months, you actually pay nothing. And when foundation is completed, you need to pay $475 per month. Over 12 months is $5,700. And superstructure is completed, meaning that if you invest in a 10th floor unit and a 10th floor is completed, you will need to service 1,425 per month, 8 months. So 1,425 times 8 is 11,000. So what I'm doing here is that I sum up the next 4 years. The total repayments over the next 4 years, I sum all this up, we will get $58,906. So when we average it out, how much is my monthly repayment over the next 4 years? For this investment, I just need to set aside 1,227 every single month. Okay, or even better, you have 59,000 after you invest in the property. Your CPF at 59,000, you're good. So next 4 months, your payments are actually settled. So that will be your safety net that you don't need to think of this repayment over the next 4 years for the Continuum investment. Okay, but of course, you can work out what will it be for a resale property. It will be significantly higher because the full loan will be dispersed upon completion. Okay, so 3 reasons why investors choose real estate, and specifically in new homes. Number 1 is that we have a very safe, sustainable, and stable real estate market now with many layers of cushion. Many layers of cushion disguised as cooling measures to support the market when needed. And the point 2 is, yes, you can collect rental from resale property, but there's also expenses you need to pay. So at the end of the day, when you go through the numbers, what is more important is which development you feel can appreciate more over the next 3, 5, 7 to 10 years. And lastly, point 3, new homes are buffered against interest rate fluctuation and has lower monthly repayments before TOP because of progressive payment. And so now I will pass the time over to Bob Ho, and he will be sharing with us why the Continuum will effectively be the icon landmark to transform the landscape of Tanjong Katong. Over to you, Bob.
Thank you, Eugene. Give me a while. Let me just prepare my slide at this moment. Okay. I think we have a very insightful session done by Eugene and Evelyn itself. We see about the market we see about the facts and figures in the current property situation itself. We see how the market have been converted to be such a safe and sustainable market that everyone can actually enter itself. Well, I think it's like when you saw the price that actually Evelyn had flashed out earlier on itself, the price that the developer is setting for the Continuum itself, they are making like this property a property investment that everyone should look into consider seriously, whereby you should look into, whereby you can look forward towards a property like profit gain, right? But on my session today itself, I want to bring everyone towards a little sneak preview that what everybody would be expecting on the Continuum itself, right? So in this continuous this development itself, we are actually built on two majestic sites. So if you see from here itself, like I mean, if you hear what Evening have been sharing, right? This two sites itself perpetually they are all landed houses. So basically, in this whole area of Tanjong Katong itself, the whole landscape was never as such, and they are all built by small apartments and low-rise houses. With this development that is going to be built in Tanjong Katong, the Continuum itself, it will rejuvenate the whole Tanjong Katong area to give more life and spice in the whole area itself. You know, when I'm buying a property itself, one of the things that actually I look up, of course, prices is something that I look at as well. The other thing that I look into is actually a property that will give me perpetually a long visibility in terms of like even like 10, 20, 30 years down the road itself. If you look at this whole area over here itself, you could find nothing but just like small houses and apartments. So with this development of the Continuum itself, it would actually create something that of a landmark, that will be of a landmark in Tanjong Katong. And this is a drone zone that I've captured over here to show everyone what you are seeing right now itself is just of 2/3 of the whole development. So you can see on the left and right itself, they are all small apartments. So there's nothing much to be perpetually be able to compare with Continuum itself. We are a big development that is built on two majestic sites itself. So the whole site area itself is very, very huge. So if you see from like what actually the Evening has shared earlier on itself, basically we are sitting on a land size of 269,995 square feet of land. So we are a freehold development that is hosting 816 units from 1+ study to 5 bedrooms, right? We could find like, I mean, like in the market itself right now, you could find like many development, 100 units, 200 units, or even like 300 units itself, but you could not find anything that is so sizable as us. We are the biggest freehold development in 2023, and we are actually also one of the biggest freehold development in terms of the total number of units, right? The Continuum is actually developed by award-winning developer Hoi Hut and Sunway Development itself. So over the last few years itself, they have won many awards. They are basically the top 10 Asia developer for the last few years. And the last two development that they have actually done, they are also been award, they also obtained award as well, Key Residences and Park Central. So these are some of their past development to showcase what they have done. They are not a new developer, they are a very seasoned developer as well. Right, we dive a little bit into this area, the Continuum, the location. So in this location itself, we are actually located at Thiam Siew Avenue, so in the Prime District area itself. So if you look at the map, rather on the left side itself, basically itself, we are well connected via road, and it's just a short drive towards the CBD area and Changi Airport area via like ECP and stuff like that. This development itself, I have perpetually like walked 2 times to Dakota and even Paya Lebar to just time myself. So we are about 8 minutes walk towards either of the MRT. So we are in very close proximity towards the MRT as well. And One thing about this location that I'm very, very excited about is actually we are surrounded by not just the East Coast vibe. We are close to many amenities like, you know, the Paya Lebar Shopping Center, Kinex. We are also situated in the Tanjong Katong Heritage Value area as well, right? So the continuum itself, it consists of 6 blocks of 816 units, ranging from 1 plus study to 5 bedrooms. Right, you can see from the street diagram map, we have actually superimposed the whole site into the area. So they are well divided with 3 blocks on each side over here itself. If you look at the big circle on the right of the screen over here itself, so basically itself, the continuum is actually like built up of 2 like goba in the whole area, and we are flanked by Tanjong Katong Road and the Head Road. Right. So zooming in deeper into the development itself, like a little bit like more towards insight on like what this site actually contain. So if you see from here itself, we do have 4 things. I do have 4 things that I want to share for everyone to take notes. We have 2 entrances, one at the north and one at the south over here. So I need everyone to just imagine. I am a property investor. I own private property as well. So basically, I've seen a lot of development, especially good size of like 500, 600, 700, 800 units over here. So the continuum itself, we are a 816 units development. So these 2 entrances is something that is very unique. So if assuming if this site itself, the continuum is only built on one site, and we only have an entrance that is located either at the north or the south entrance. So you have to imagine that, you know, like over here itself, we have 816 owners, and day in, day out, every day on busy hours, if there is only one entrance, there will be a lot of congestion. So with the introduction of the 2 entrances over here itself, it will help to ease a lot of congestion, especially on busy hours. So the next thing that, of course, people will talk about is actually this development itself. We have actually, we are located at Thiam Siew Avenue, which is this route that is actually running in between the 2 development itself. But one thing I want to emphasize, if you see from here, I put a little marking over there. The road at Thiam Siew Avenue will be widened up to give more space to build it with more beautified landscape in the whole area itself. So like you know, like I was sharing with one of my Chinese customer itself. You know, like they usually call a development 小区. So like in these 2 developments, in this development itself, to some people they say, hey, 我们有2个小区. But in actual fact itself, I tell them something very unique, whereby in this development itself, 我们有一个小区里面，整个路都是自己的一个路来的. Which you perpetually probably will be like having the route by yourself, and nobody will be like, I mean, you might not have a lot of like non-residents that may be driving through the Thiam Siew route as well. So this is something which actually is of advantages to us as well. Of course, with the route that is driving into the into this development as well, it actually create a lot of visibility. So over a period of like 5 years, 10 years, 15 years down the road itself, people will still be able to actually know that, hey, we have a big development that is located in this area as well. Right. The next thing that I want to share, if you look from the site plan over here itself, we have I've like many arrows and stuff like that. Like you see all the distance, like assuming from like block 3 to block 6 itself, it's about 59.4 space apart. Then from block 1 to block 2 is about 46 meters space apart. So this development itself, perpetually itself, the architect created a lot of space. They are not condensed into one small area. You don't have like units that can perpetually like overlook towards each other. It gives the unit a lot of space and privacy. It allows a lot of airflows into the whole development. This is something which for much towards the high-end development is something like a very unique features over here. And the last thing that I actually want to share is actually, of course, like, you know, people ask about if we are 2 majestic site itself. So how are we connected? So we are connected by a private bridge over here. I'm not sure if you can see my cursor. This is the one. So this is the private bridge that will be linking the two sides together from the north side, which is the north end, which is where the north entrance is located, and towards the southern side, which is over here. Right. So when people talk about the bridge, everybody is very excited as to how the bridge actually looks like. So this bridge itself, if you look at this perspective, it is nice, but if you go to the Showfat to see, it is even more impressive. Right, this bridge itself is something that is like Henderson Wave look-alike itself. So perpetually, it will be giving a separate, different, unique identity in this whole development. Right. So something that I want to really like shout out in this development, that what we have seen many development that have been rolling out launches, and we have seen many resale development as well. So a lot of time in recent market itself, the developers, when they are building itself, they structure different types of like car park allocation, like units and stuff like that. So in this development, we have 1:1 car park lot allocation to every unit. So with the two blocks or the two sets that you've seen on the screen over here itself. So basically on the north tower, or rather like the tower 6, or towards the south tower, which is the other tower as well, perpetually we have 408 units that is equipped with 2 level of 408 car park lots to be allocated for all the owners over here. Okay. We understand about the site, we understand about the location, right? When you are buying a development itself, I think the other thing that probably like everyone wants to actually like look into is you want to see what values actually this development can actually offers to everyone. So I have 3 values that I've indicated in the continuum, which I think is of strong values, which will attribute for us in the resale market. So the first thing first is a freehold development that is within 1 kilometer of 3 good schools, even more rare itself. So this is something which I think is worth to shout out as well. The next thing, which is something very unique, many of us like have seen multiple developments. Like I think if I don't remember wrongly, Evelyn actually shared something on the earlier slides, whereby there are many development that is launching this year, or there has been launched as well, or in the whole area itself. But we are the only freehold development in the area as well. Of course, freehold development holds a different identity itself in these aspects. But the freehold development that allows flexibility of combining the rooms actually offers a different attributes in this whole aspect. Because a lot of the 99 years development itself, their construction methods will not be able to allow such flexibility. So this will put us in another front foot as well, right? I want to share a little bit good news, which the developer has shared with us recently, which is like the foundation would be estimated to be caught on Q4 next year, right? So let's run a little bit deeper into like the 3 values, and we touch on the good news at a later stage as well, right? So bringing you the best of lifestyle living. If this is just a sneak preview, so I urge everyone to make appointment. Remember to make appointment with your agents, your ERA agents as well, to come to the show fact to see to be wowed by the whole setup, everything itself. This development is bringing lifestyle living into the whole development as well. And I actually call this best of living with multi-dual facilities, the 7 wonders of the continuum, something that is not to be missed, right? Why I say multi-dual facilities, basically, I just want to share a little bit more before I roll down the numbers of the 7 wonders. Is all facilities comes in sets of 2, and this is something that is very rare, because in most development of such size itself, you will likely only have 1 facilities each itself. But in this area, in the continuum itself, you will get to enjoy sets of 2 facilities for the whole actually condo as well. Okay, we do have a dual purpose sunken in multi-recreational court that is inbuilt together with tennis court and basketball court purpose as well. We have 2 clubhouses at the ground level. So on the north side, which is what we call the Tiam Siu house, on the southern side, which will be more of a modern clubhouse, is what we name as a South Side Social. Okay, the third one is we do have 2 sky function room at the roof terrace, which we name as the Sky Club and the Roof Bar. We have 2 sky indoor gyms. We have 2 sets of children play zone, and we have 6 barbecue pits. So this is something very, very, very amazing. And we have 4 sets of swimming pool facilities in the whole condo over here, right? So if you look into like condos that have built-in like tennis court, this is one tennis court or one multi-recreational court. There is something very much different because the whole multi-purpose court itself is sunken into the development as well, which means to say it actually helps to beautify it or give the landscapes a different feeling. And the residents actually will be assured that whereby if you have like you have like residents playing like tennis in the tennis court over here itself, the noise level are down to the minimum as well. So this is something that is very thoughtful that the developer have done and created in the development. So we have 2 clubhouse actually at the ground landscape. One on the north side, which we call will be named as Tiam Siu House, and the south side, which will be named as the South Side Social, which will be a modern type. But I want to give a little intro on this Tiam Siu House. This is actually a conservation bungalow that is being created to retain as a clubhouse. You know, I think for myself or probably for many Singaporeans, we dream of staying in a bungalows. But the cost of buying a bungalows is not any ordinary Singaporean could afford. It costs probably as high as $20 million, $30 million, or even $40 million or even higher as well. But in this area over here, we have a clubhouse that was previously a bungalow and retained with its structure to allow the owner to host their friends in this area and enjoy the feel of staying and playing in the bungalow as well. So this is something which is very unique, and this will be an icon in the development. It will be something like a landmark in this development as well, right? So on the south side, which is the South Side Social, will be something of a more modern design. It hosts a 2-story facilities. We have a function room, and we also have a karaoke room in the South Side Social. What actually impressed me a lot is actually the 2 sky function rooms, right? We have one each at the North Tower and one at the South Tower, but the one that is more unique is the Sky Club that is located at the South Tower. You know, this Sky Club, when I'm looking at the model, when I'm looking at the picture itself, it gives me the idea whereby this development is really like every owner's pride. It's not just a normal development, it's every owner's pride, because you are able to host your friends and treat them to a fine dining experience. And in this Sky Club itself, we have a 16-seater fine dining desk. You can actually invite your private chef into this place as well. So this is a very, very different sky facilities that actually they offered to the residents over here. We have 2 indoor sky gym. Well, I see a lot of development itself. Sometimes like development, we have like 2 gyms. One of them will be an outdoor gym. But over here itself, you have 2 indoor gym. This is something that is very rare and very unique as well. Right, a whole view on the landscape that actually I wanted to share is actually in this development itself, we host many facilities. But if you look over here itself, on the north and the south sides in this whole development itself, all the facilities are spread very far apart. So it gives the owner, when you are doing hostings, a lot of space and privacy to host your friend in this whole area. so you don't get cluttered together as well, right? And we do have 2 sets of children play zone, right? The 2 sets of children play zone allows, like, you know, the owners, because over here itself we do have like units whereby the owners will be going towards like own stay itself, and you have children, so you have like 2 different sets of play zone that allows the, you know, your kids to enjoy the facilities over here itself, right? Okay, coming to the 6th wonder of the Continuum itself, we have 4 swimming pools facilities. So when I was first introduced towards the Continuum itself, so a lot of people will be asking, hey, well, the swimming pool is very the depth, the length is very, very wide, and the whole swimming pool collections are quite nice. So a lot of people is asking, like, hey, what are the length size of the swimming pool itself? So basically on the south leg we have a 50-meter pool, and on the north wellness zone we have actually, on the north side itself we have actually a 33.3-meter swimming pool as well. And the last 7 wonders of the Continuum itself, we have actually 6 barbecue pits. So we have 4 that's located at the ground level, the ground landscape, and we have 2 that's located at the sky terrace over here. So that's actually compute the 7 wonders of the Continuum with dual facilities, right? And a lot of I mean, when we of course the next thing is actually people are asking me, people have been asking us, like, how can the developer actually build so much facilities and actually give in so much indoor recreational space for all these facilities? So basically, one of the things that I want to share with everyone is our development are built with less balcony GFA at 6.4%, which is less than the norm of 7%, to allow more usable space to be allocated for the indoor recreational space. And with the multi-dual facilities that's located on both the ground floor, ground level, and the roof terrace, this would be something of a huge standout for many years for the Continuums. Right. The second value that actually the Continuum actually offers, we are within 1 kilometer of 3 good schools. Right, we are within 1 kilometer of Honghua, Tanjong Katong Primary and Head Girls School. So a lot of buyers who are buying today itself, one of the main criteria is we must be near to good schools. Then they will come and say that, hey, we must be near to good boys schools or girls schools. So over here we have a good mixture for everyone to actually choose from. Buying a development that is near within good schools, especially 3 good schools itself, will help to preserve the price and keep the visibility very strong for the development. Right. Some of the other good schools over here include like Diamond High, Tanjong Katong Secondary School, even Chongcheng High. Right. This place itself, it is something that is really built and well suited for family building, because your children primary education doesn't stop there. They will need to transit into a secondary education. So over here we have very, very good secondary education school over here that allows the parents to house the kids for a longer term over here. Right. The flexibility of combining rooms becomes a very important value in this aspect. We have seen like many developments. I think many of us today in today's seminar, you have seen many developments itself. But many of the developments that is being built today, they are what we call PPVC. So it's like those Lego type, whereby the buildings are pre-flat from factories, and it comes and in blocks to stack up as well. And one of the main restriction of this PPVC construction method itself, it does not allow the owner to do any changes to the unit itself. We have the luxury to actually do and combine the rooms or the space in the unit itself, because our development is not built under the PPVC construction methods. So when you come to our sales gallery itself, we have four show flat units that we can actually show and interpret how we can actually make use of good space to improve the size or to design and cater to your own needs. right? The first thing that I want to show is actually you have the flexibility of even combining 2-bedroom plus study, right? So most of the development today itself, like this is what we call a dumbbell unit. So if you see over here, you have a bedroom 2 that is linked to a study room, right? So some of the owners today itself, they may say that they may find this study room over here that may not be well suited to their own needs, and they want to combine the 2 rooms together to become an entertainment room because there's a bath over here as well. So they can actually do some changes to combine this together. Sorry, or you can even combine the master room together to link with the living room to enlarge your master room as well. So you have a lot of flexibility on this as well for even a small units like 2-bedroom plus study. Then we have a 3-bedroom premium to showcase at the ground level as well. On a typical layout itself, like most of the buyers today, they will love to have a huge master room itself. So you can see from here, you have the flexibility to combine the bedroom 2 and link together with the master room to actually enlarge the whole space as well. And over here, the living room can be reconverted and enlarged together with the bedroom 3 as well. So these are some things which you can do to reconfigure your space to give you something or to redesign to what you want towards your own needs, right? And that is the 2 show flat unit that I'm showing is actually both located at our first level. We are actually hosting a 2-story sales gallery in the Continuum over here itself. So on the second level itself, we are showcasing 2 different types of units. Basically, these are what we call our prestige unit that comes with private lift. So private lift units becomes a rare, very, very rare supplies in the market, and it will be of a huge demand, especially for a freehold development in the District 15 area as well. So even we do have like options of like 3 plus study over here that comes with a private lift, and you can do configurations on the rooms like the bedroom 2 and bedroom 3 you can actually change as well. Or the floor or the other option is to combine the master room over here and link together with the study room as well. So there are a lot of options which actually the developer will be sharing with everyone, allowing us to share with everyone what are the options that you can actually do to actually reconfigure and make good to a space that you want, rather than having a floor plan that is fixated and you can't do anything, right? And we have a very, very, very nice 5-bedroom unit that is equipped with a private lift as well over here. These are some of the changes which you can do, like the bedroom 5 can be actually possible to crafted to be like an entertainment room or even a wine bar, a wine corner. You can actually probably like remove the walls, all this and stuff like that as well. For the 5-bedroom itself, you have the luxury of a wet and dry kitchen area as well. So this is something that comes with it as well over here. Right. So when you come to the show flat itself, do remember to spend some time to explore the 4 show flat units. The bonus thing in this development that we have, the news that we received from the developer is the foundation is estimated to be in Q4 2024, which means to say this is something to me like almost a deferred payment for the progressive payment stage. Right over here, you can see that my foundation will only be called in Q4 2024, and no progress payment will be collected until the foundation work is called. So there are a lot of concerns whereby from the buyers today whereby the current interest rate is high at this moment itself, but interest will not stay high forever itself. So this is a good period whereby you could actually hold on a property and enjoy a deferred payment mode on the progressive until next year Q4, and while you wait for the interest to be softened, right? So in summary itself, the Continuum is an elegant and timeless development which will create a new landmark in the Tanjong Katong area, and this to me will be a home to owners for many generations. Okay, we are heading towards our preview period. Do remember to make appointment with your ERA salesperson. Today is just a very sneak preview of like the whole Continuum development itself. So we will urge that if you can, you make appointment with your ERA salesperson to go through before coming to the show flat, because that will actually helps a lot to give you like more info and insights on the whole development itself. So 6 good points to remember for the Continuum is actually we are a rare freehold good size development that is equipped with multi-dual facilities. Within 1 click of 3 good schools, we have 2 MRT that's within walking distance. So you have the flexibility of combining the rooms, and the foundation is estimated to be Q4 2024. Right, I've come to the end of the sharing. Thank you everyone for staying tuned with us today. We